How's everybody doing? Um, Set it up for discussion. We will be reviewing a video. I don't do this much at all, but I mean, get it, get it popping. Let's see. Go to my history to grab the video. Link screen for anybody want to come up. Grab that now. Listen, we have a topic. We're gonna stay on this topic. Hey, Lena, we're gonna stay on this topic until this topic is over. If you come up to try to change the topic, you will not be allowed to stay up here until the topic is over. Okay. I normally, hey Robert, how you doing? How you been, Robert? How you doing? I just noticed who you were. I hope you're doing well. We're gonna have a conversation. Um, I'm not sure why I can't pin. Why can't I pin the link? I'm not sure, but um, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Now, I don't normally do this, right? But sometimes people need to see and hear themselves, right? Um, and if they don't want to listen, that's okay. But maybe other people need to see and hear certain people, right? I had no idea there would be anybody in our community who would purposely, I mean, on purpose, try to destroy their own family for the sake of manhood, for the sake of manhood. For the sake of manhood, they would destroy their own family for the sake of manhood. Okay. Wow. Like I thought everybody care you have a family, you care about your family. You're gonna do everything in your power to take care of your family, make sure that they're good, make sure that that they are able to survive when they get older, they'll be able to, do what it is that they need to do in society, whatever that is for them to survive, right? And for a lot of people, that's different things. It will be based on your environment, how you was raised, and things like that. But the women have been saying that this person is intentionally trying to destroy his little girls for some reason. And then when people sit back and say, well, that's stupid. Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody do that? See, people think that when somebody says somebody's doing something, they think about it and say, well, why would anybody do that? So they disagree with what the people who are watching are saying because they say, nah, that's ridiculous. Nobody would ever destroy their own family. Nobody would do that, right? It confuses the mind, and that's what I think people are curious about. They watch because they're watching in order to, you know, they think, okay, he's joking, but then he says he's not joking, but then we see his actions, which at first you think is joking until you realize it have surpassed that line, right? For example, walking into a store, seeing a sign that says floor wet, slippery, right? Beware, be careful. And then he gets on his stream and say, I'm about to get a lick. I'm about to get a quick lick. And then he stumbles and slip and fall softly as can be. And then he stayed on that ground until the ambulance came, picked him up, took him to the hospital. He did all of these things for everybody to see, committing a crime. Now, when he hit the ground, and I had to rewind to see exactly what took place, and I heard him say, I'm about to get a quick lick, y'all. I'm about to get a quick lick. And then I was in disbelief, like, whoa, he did that shit live. And then, so then when I go back and I see, okay, maybe he's going to pop up any minute and say, oh, I was just joking. It's just, for YouTubers or the internet, it's a prank. But when the ambulance came and they put the brace on him and rolled him in the actual ambulance, right? That's when I was like, oh, now what could have been a joke is no longer a joke, is no longer a prank. They're taking his blood pressure, doing this. The kids get in the ambulance with him because they ain't got no other choice because, like, he's their parent. There's no other parent around. So the kids got to go with him. They watching him do this. They watching him commit this type of crime. Now, it's crazy. Like, and so people that he have some supporters, some men supporters who be like, yeah, yeah, he ain't mean no harm. He ain't do nothing wrong. And I'm like, he did a lot wrong. A lot. That's just that incident. What about when he walked into a store because he had an interview, a job interview, right? And he didn't have no deodorant, no, you know what I mean? He must have was smelling bad. He was smelling so bad, he went into a store, opened up the deodorant, used it, and put it the back on the whatever that thing called, the counter, wherever he got it from, right? Now check this out. He did that live, y'all. He did that for everybody to see it. And then he walked out. And this was live. This wasn't like a video where I would be like, oh, that person probably purchased it. For the video, they showed them doing that, but they probably went up, purchased it, and then, and walked out. That's what a lot of people are doing. So they're skits. Most people are skits. It's not live. They are videos that they put together. They record themselves doing certain things and acting like they put it back, but then they grab it, they go to the front, they pay for it, and then when they get home, they edit the video to show that maybe they didn't possibly do that. But he on the other hand, he literally was live when he did it and walked out of there. He didn't purchase it. He even bragged about it. It's crazy. But anyway, bypass all of that. These things are criminal. And then he got in trouble on the back end, right? From my understanding, he told people that the police ended up coming to his house and issuing him a ticket, $500 for the incident of him slipping and falling in that store. He thought he could just call them people and say, oh, by the way, it was a prank. But before he called them goddamn people, them people had already contacted everybody they need to contact to protect their business because he was on the phone with him and he said, yeah, it was a prank. I just wanted you to know, you know, but and then he came back and told everybody that they said, yeah, because they reviewed the video and they was wondering what's going on. Now, mind you, they reviewed the video, right? Which means as soon as the ambulance was called and everything went down, in order for them to protect themselves, they called the police. So the video could be reviewed because they figured that this person is going to try to sue us. Somebody going to be held liable. And they don't want to be held liable. So I can guarantee the police was called, they reviewed the video, and they was going to press some charges. So he said when he called to tell him it was a prank, they told him, yeah, we reviewed the video and we was wondering what's going on. And that, like, that was them. Yeah, they reviewed the video. They didn't just gonna let you slip and fall, even though there was a sign that said beware for wet and slippery. Right? And everybody else walking by, the kids walked on it, and nobody but his ass fell. And then he kept his phone in his hand, kept looking up like, I don't know if that video's still up, but damn. Like the idea that he is so slow, and that's why, like, there is no doubt that something is wrong, y'all, because of what he is doing. Something is wrong. For the people be in question, how you know something wrong with him? Like, why you ain't live on the camera saying I'm about to catch a lick, and why you didn't slip and fall, hold your phone, have them come and pick you up, go to the hospital? Why are you not doing that? So, I mean, because you know that that's wrong. But for somebody who don't know that that's wrong, who don't understand what they are doing when they're doing it, that means something's not clicking with them. That means something is wrong. The thought process not there. They're doing things before they think it out, even though they know that it's something they shouldn't be doing. Like, to even suggest that he's about to get a lick, then he's saying that he's about to defraud these people. But he did it live. He didn't even think that if I'm going to do this, then I got to act for it, and I definitely can't have no evidence. When he said, I'm about to get a lick, I'm about to, hey, y'all, watch this. I'm about to get a lick. I'm about to get a lick. And then he falls. He, what? If anything, if like in the person, if they thought they were gonna try to do that, they wouldn't have been like, I'm about to get a lick. They would have been acting like everything normal, and everything would have processed through their head. They would have saw the sign and said, okay. They wouldn't have said nothing, and then they would have slipped and fell. And then they would have been able to say, I was live on video when I slipped and fell. You see what I'm saying? They would have been able to, yeah, I really wasn't paying too much attention, but I didn't see the sign because I was live, and I reached in and get, like, person at least who really trying to do what they're trying to do, it wouldn't have been like ratting themselves out and then doing it. But yeah. Now, there's no hatred, but let me just say this. I have been not reviewing things on the behalf of knowing that he didn't really like people doing that, right? Um, and so due to that, but I noticed that when I'm on panels with him, he does disrespect. He does it to all the women, including me. And like, I guess, like I said yesterday and the day before that, I mentioned that, I don't know why you bring up the family and things like that, but the idea that, like, he just last week, earlier in the week, I think, or maybe the week before, my husband was upset because while I was up there with him having conversations, yeah, the joke, I can go with the joke, but he started to joke around that my son is not for my husband. I, I even started putting up pictures to be like, yeah, my kids are for my husband. He was like, did you get a test? I was like, no, but everybody don't need no test. So he was suggesting, and then it go to where, yeah, you probably did. So he's talking to me, telling me that I'm a liar and I would lie on my husband. Now he mentions that women lie, and yet the women who have told him that his children was his, they ended up being his. Isn't that something? So I guess not all women are liars. A lot of the times the men who claim, the woman says, yeah, this is your son or your daughter, and they be like, no, I want a DNA test. And it's more of the DNA test being the real deal, where the women are telling the truth, than it is for the ones where she didn't know. And even the ones on the TV show, because they love to go to Maury. But when I tell them that Maury was fake, there are people here in this space who went on Maury's show. We've had conversations with them. The guy, they went for a free trip. He knew he couldn't have been the father because he knew he had never slept with her. But they came up with the little, storyline so they could go on the show. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I can tell you a woman who went on the show for testing 16 men. I mean, 16 men for one child? 16 men for one child. Man. And if she want to go on the show, if the show still exists and she want to go on there today, she would still be able to go. They would love to have her come back to test the 17, 18, and 19 men. Because it's promotion, it's good for the show. But it don't mean that it's truthful information. But anyway, let's get to it. Let me share. We're going to talk about his Fugazi interview. Okay. When he admitted that he had babies with certain type of women. So even though y'all know it, even when he said that, y'all know this is not true. You know how we know it's not true? Because he required a DNA test. One of them he didn't even know about her till she was 4. At least that's what he claimed. You see? When she says I'm pregnant, and then he want to act like it ain't his, and then do all his shit, move away and do his thing until CPS gets involved, right? CPS gets involved because possibly the mothers are, not good mothers. They're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, or that they're doing. Their lifestyle just doesn't allow for them to keep the children. They notify him. He wants a DNA test. He gets a DNA test. And he decides to keep them. It may have been best for them to be in the custody of somebody else who would have taken care of them. Because he's purposely trying to destroy them little girls. Okay? And he says it. Fuck out of here. No matter what people were saying, because everybody could see what he was doing. Those of us who could see what he was doing knew what he was doing. But when it comes out his own mouth, for those of you gonna be like, no, but y'all women just say anything. What do you mean? You saw too. But now he says it out his own fucking mouth. Even the men are shocked. Right? Because if you can see this title says Open Debate Night. Feminists, leftists, atheists, black libs, all are welcome to join. Right? He's saying, hey, come up, let's talk. But they were shocked when this man got up there to say what he was saying, making black men look like ain't piece of nothing but a piece of shit. Now, I'm going to say that I know for a fact most black men would never do anything like this. There are going to be women who say, well, Bob, I disagree. And they have their right to their opinion. and based on what they are seeing and have saw throughout time in their lifetime, which I will not discredit it, because I would have been one of the people to say nobody would do this shit. I would be like, nah, nobody will do that. Nobody will do that. They'd be like, nah, bomb, they out here wilding out. I would be like, girl, nah. Are y'all serious? And yes, I would have been like saying nah. And here it go though. So that's what I'm saying. I'm giving credence to everybody and their opinions based on what they have witnessed in their life. And Bomb can say, hey, I was wrong. And the men gonna be upset at these men because I'm quite sure a lot of men thought just like I did, like nobody's doing this shit. Why? Because those men take care of their family. They would never do no shit like this. Right? But then they know somebody who do shit like this. I don't know about as far as this man, but the men who walk away from their family don't give a damn about whether they eating or not, whether they sheltered or not. Well, yes, that those are the guys who don't give a damn about their family. And here we go. Oh, I think it's muted on my, yes.
All right. There we go. All right, there y'all go. So, all the haters in the chat and stuff like that, click that link. It's right there, pinned in the comments. And then everybody that's on Facebook and TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's No Fugazi Podcast on YouTube, and you can come right on up. All right.
Edit that in for anybody who want to know where I'm watching from. If y'all interested in this man right here, Fugazi Podcast, go over there, subscribe to his channel. You know what I'm saying? I am using this content right now. Fair use though. And I just want to say, yeah, here we go. Fair use. And I'm gonna make it smaller again so y'all can see where to go. It's No Fugazi Podcast. I am subscribed. Okay. And y'all can go and subscribe as well. Look like he got a big following over there. Okay. I don't know what his talking points are yet, but I will be watching when I see that he's live or when he's doing his show with him. Okay. Now here we go.
Let's start debate night, man.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. You said some stuff that was very intriguing and very interesting. I'm kind of happy that I know you probably don't know. I did a show with you before. I'm a welfare king, and
Now you notice how he said I did a show with you before. He never did a show with him before. He meant that he came up on that man's show before. You know, there's a big difference in I did a show with you or I've come over on your platform before. See, JayPrince think that when he goes on these shows, he think he makes the show. Even last time, the guy let him go. He thought he was gonna be able to stay up there forever. No matter whose show he go on, he thinks he becomes the show. He wants to become the person who show, and then he claiming that I did a show with you. Okay, see the mental, and I think somebody said he was a narcissist. Now, you know, yeah, he thinks that he did a show with this young man. Okay, when the truth is, he simply did what he's doing right now. He went on the man's show when he allowed people to come up. That's all he did. Okay, and they had a debate that time when he was against education. Black, never seen a black man go on these red pill shows just so the men can tell him, oh no, we're not going as far as what you're talking about. You assume that when red pillers come together, they're gonna be agreeing, right? Jay Prince goes over there and it's just all just extra, like bitch made extra, like some shit that nobody wants to agree with. He was firmly against education, saying that black people shouldn't, the black man, the black woman should not be getting education. We shouldn't become educated. And this time, he wants to brag about being the welfare king. That's mental issues right there. Who wants to be known as the welfare queen or king? He does. He does. And we're going to hear him say it again. Here we go.
For those, I know you probably don't know. I did a show with you before. I'm a welfare king, and I'm proud of it.
You said you're a what? I couldn't really hear you.
I'm a welfare king, right? I'm welfare prince.
Oh, welfare.
Yes.
Okay.
And I got the kids. I got the baby mamas on child support. I got the full custody. I'm the guy that the parent that the teachers call and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that when you say that, like when you brought up that cop situation where the woman got to do a pull up, I think that the female leadership makes it good for us, make it easier for us, because when you think about it, if they only gonna require her to not even do a push up, now they requiring if a man want to be a woman, he can get the benefits of what the women get. Like I get the benefits. Now, pause. I'm not saying that I gotta acquiesce to being a woman because I'm not that, but I think that the female matriarch, by them taking over and by them leading, using manipulation with their femininity to control men to do what they need to do. That's always have been women. That's their power. That's their nature.
Okay, so
it make it easy for us men that gonna participate in the same stuff. I don't want to participate in the hard working and dying at 50 and working hard. I don't no longer want to do that.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that with women in the workforce with women in, having the same opportunity and choices as men, it makes it easier on men because you're the type of individual that you don't really want to compete. You rather just sit back and chill.
Yeah, so by these women
You don't want to compete. And listen, I've come across a lot of men on here. They admitted they don't want to compete. They really want a woman to fall in their lap, right? I've heard the ones who say, I want an ugly woman, right? Which is ridiculous because I could see if he said, well, he likes a certain type of woman, she's beautiful to him, but may not be beautiful to others. But these men be like, I want an ugly woman because I don't want no other man to want her. I want her to be happy that I chose her ugly ass, and then she gonna do whatever I tell her to do out of fear that she may not get another man. And that sounds what? Maybe I must have was raised in a different type of family because we understood that the world is a competition. Like we grew up, if you grew up in the South, competition, man, they teach us sports and games and all kinds of things, and we happily competed. And it also teaches you how to be a good winner and how to also be a good loser. Better luck next time. But get up and compete some more. You didn't get placed at all? Okay. Oh, but next time you may get placed, third place. Oh, you got third place this time? Work harder. You may get second place. Oh, you got second place this time? Oh, you just got to work a little harder. You may get first place. And that makes for a good, well-balanced human being. But then we have somebody like this who don't want to compete. And anybody who deal with him, he gonna allow them to look like they are at the top. But as soon as you get in it with him, which we know, then he is gonna switch it up on, because he don't want to compete. And he told, when his wife said she got a job, she said he found out where she go. He told her, no, you better not go to that job. Now she in a spot that she don't want to be in, right? Because she married to this man, but they need money because they're about to get evicted. And he wouldn't even let her go to work. And then he lied. Today he'll lie and spin it another way. But he says, no. He says he's a jealous type. But they was trying to find a place to live. They was, you know what I mean? She willing to go out there and bust her ass so she can make it happen. And his ass want to just sit on his ass. This the type of shit that need to go all around his area so people can stop giving him handouts. This shit is crazy. Why would he go on a show and admit this shit when he gonna be at a church again in a couple of days trying to find the rent again? Oh, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, yes, that is what he does. He goes around to churches in his area to get his rent paid every month. Okay? Every month. So he ain't lying. He ain't on here just saying no shit. He about to tell you the truth. And once again, y'all know, if y'all not subscribed, No Fuguzi Podcast is where this took place. Okay? Fair use. And here we go.
Get into our men's spaces, they kind of lighten up the requirements. And like for an example, I purposely chose.
Well, the real quick, the thing is they don't really get into men's spaces. Like there's not really a difference. So if you look at history would show you that even when women got the opportunity to get in certain fields that men dominate, before they had that opportunity, it was still dominated by men. And now that they have the opportunity, it's still dominated by men. So women aren't really choosing to go into fields that men go into, like science, technology, engineering, and math. They're not doing offshore drilling. They're not disposal men. They're not working for any disposal companies. They're going into being secretaries and being nurses and being caretakers and things like that, that's dealing with people and doing social work.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm a CNA. Like I go to work tomorrow. I'm a CNA, and these jobs are so easy. Like the ladies work to get.
I'm sorry. And see what I mean? So if you get fired from his job for something he says online, he'll blame it on others. He gonna say people stalking him, people doing this. But he's on the internet, on a platform with damn near 500,000 people who watch. But he gonna blame the few women who over there watching him. He gonna blame everything that comes to him. He gonna blame it on you all, on us. Hey, what's that? What am I saying? Thank you, babe. I mean, hubby done hooked me up with dinner. And he made the famous pontchartrain sauce. Lord have mercy. Let me see. I need the rice because I'm about to lap up all that sauce on some rice. Okay? Anyway, probably be hooking me up. And people would say that something's wrong with my husband because he cooked. He could cook. He enjoyed cooking sometimes. That's crazy. I cook too, god damn it. But hubby, man, and I don't know. It seemed like as you get older, he put out a recipe, putting out all his talents, and he enjoyed it. But men will be like, oh, he must be a simp. He must be this. And I don't understand why they call married men who are in who love their wives and their family and everything about their family, why they have to be simps. Okay. The simp is the one sitting right here who tell you he don't want to compete. He want to be like a back in the day they would call him a SISSY because he want to be like the woman. That's what they would call it. Okay. Anyway, let me come put the link in. Hold up, y'all. Damn. So the stream's still going. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. It might have got cut off. Did it get cut off? Here. Okay. Mr. Skinny Teeth is the color of Alicia. Can I get it from the back? Mr. Skinny Teeth. What the hell is Mr. Skinny Teeth? What the hell that mean? I don't even know what that mean, baby. You got a weird ass name. Hey, legal code. Okay. Anyway, am I still sharing? Okay. Okay, here we go. Um, let me share it again. That's crazy. Y'all be coming up with these crazy names. It'd be funny though. Listen, I'm not against you having fun. Go ahead.
Get paid to do nothing and then think about it. I purposely chose piece of shit women to have my kids with, purposely. And a lot of people say, well, you
He purposely did. I want y'all to hear that. He purposely chose what he called ain't it women, right? To have his children. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. That is a new one to me. I've heard men say they purposely put babies in, certain women that they love. Like that's why they'll say, oh, she the baby mama type. Yeah, I'll put a baby in her. I even heard somebody on here who said he'll put a baby in the woman and make her sit down because she's so fine. She's so pretty, out there doing this and that or whatever with him. And he put a baby in her. This dude say he putting babies in ain't shit women on purpose. He said on purpose. On purpose. This is what he said.
paid to do nothing and then think about it. I purposely chose piece of shit women to have my kids with, purposely. And a lot of people say, well, you purposely chose a bad baby mama to procreate. Yes. I think that's the only way that a man will be able to get his kids. As if he pick a woman that don't care about having kids, that's the only way you want to get that's the only way you be able to get your kids without a fight. Compared to the men that chose the good woman, which turned out to be the bad woman when y'all break up, because now you're gonna be like Tyrese crying, begging to get your kids and only get them every other weekend. So not only that, I got all of the benefits of being a father with multiple baby mamas. All my kids has been raised up under the same roof. I get all of the benefits. I get to sit on my ass and let y'all pay for my lifestyle. And when I do want to go to work, I get to make 58. They boosted up to 5,800 a month and still receive all of my benefits. So I work as a CNA, right? I'm a med tech, so I pass out medication, wipe little ass here and there. I think that when the black, I'm not gonna say black woman, but women leadership made it easy for niggas like me. I'm enjoying it, and y'all gonna pay for my lifestyle. I get to create more kids, which I'm planning on, And then a lot of people say, well, how you gonna take care of all them kids? Y'all gonna pay for it. It's called taxes, right? And I'm gonna receive all the benefits. Y'all gonna be my slaves. I'm basically living like a boss because here's why I decided to do that. No matter how much hard work that me as a black man do, I don't take pride in working for another man's empire. So it's one thing to build my own black infrastructure or my own black empire. We don't do that here in America. We build it. It's more of a disrespect to us to go to another man's empire who already have ill intent of us. They do not respect black men. They hate black men. They delete black men on a daily basis. But yeah, you take pride to go work. And they told us this education gave us power. And yet, it seems like the power is kind of jaded because the white man is still above us, and we do not sit across the table from the white man. That education do not teach us black people or black men
Well,
to
listen, man.
white
The reason why the white man is above you is because of your mentality. You want to be like the black woman. You want to be like a woman, man. Essentially, everything that you described is a black chick. I wouldn't consider you to be a male. I would consider you to be a black woman in the mind. Like you have an X and a Y chromosome, but your mentality is that of a woman. And I say that because your behaviors and the things that you choose, you're saying that, well, you want basically the woman to go out there and have the burden of performance, the burden of working, the burden of doing all of that. You're going to choose the lesser. It's like you have the mentality that let me make basically not just bad decisions, let me make the worst decision so I have the upper hand. That's basically what you said.
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. Oh my goodness. I don't even know why I'm reviewing this bullshit, man. Mm. Look at him. He thinking about it. He not listening to what the man saying. He just listening so he can respond. Let's see what he gonna say.
I want to have the upper hand in my relationship, so I'm going to choose the worst baby, the worst woman to procreate with that don't want kids, so then I have the upper hand and I get to have my kids. So therefore, you're not even looking at life as to be the best version of yourself, to get a woman that's, going to follow your lead. And you're looking at life like, well, listen, I'm going to reverse the game. I'm going to turn it upside down and say, you know what? I'm going to be the worst nigga out there. So I got a question for you. Since you are basically promoting to be the worst nigga out there, what example are you for your kids? Do you want your kids to be just like you?
Well, as long as, first up, yes. And the reason why I say that, and I'm standing strong on that, because when you say that I have a woman mentality, black men in America, you are considered to be a woman. You do not compete with no man. Yes, you might go to work and work your butt off like a slave, like a subordinate, like a peasant. That hard work do not give you the same power that you think you got, right? So yeah,
that's all people though. So
you're still
Jay,
not a real man.
but Jay, that's all people. So doesn't matter your skin color. Yeah, it doesn't matter your skin color. There's white people that's in poverty. There's black people in poverty. There's many different type of. Real quick, there's many different ethnicities that's in poverty based off of, if you're an adult, then you're making poor decisions, right? Of course, you can be born into poverty, but if you're a full adult with all of the opportunity, this is America. You can make your dreams come true, essentially. They're making bad decisions themselves. So, I see what you're, once again, I see what you're saying, but why wouldn't you, as a father, why wouldn't you want your children to be a better version than you?
Because I think that you're not really paying. I think that we so shallow, right? We think by getting a lot of money and stuff to go to Johnny Day and spend it on jewelry, that somehow our dreams come true. No, my dreams, if I'm going to go out there and work, I want to create my own system. We the only race in America that don't have no tie, no lines to no outside of this place. We barely on the lease here, right, in America. The only thing that's keeping us here is the 14th Amendment before we be getting classified as an illegal immigrant. We no different. We next to the Mexicans, right? While we be sitting up there talking, all the thing Trump got to do is say, let's get rid of that 14th Amendment. We're going to become an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, but Jay, answer my question. Why don't you want your children? Yeah, answer my question. Like, I want to understand your thinking. And Chad, he's not trolling. He's been up here before. You haven't been up here in a while. But as you was talking, it started to bring back, memories of when you were up here, probably like almost a year ago. But
I'm not trolling. I'm actually living this.
What you say?
I'm not trolling. I'm actually living this. I got all custody of all my kids. I've been doing it for almost 8 years.
Yeah, he's not trolling. I had him up here before. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the conversation of what we had. It definitely was about something else because I don't remember speaking with you about like this, your own personal life like this. But so answer that question. Like, you're a father, right? You're leaving a legacy behind, and you said that you're gonna have more kids. So why wouldn't you want like something better for your kids? Why would you want your kids to follow your same path if your path is of ignorance?
For a good word, we're looking for a good word to give him. And he gave one. Ignorance. Okay. See, he don't like that. He's proud to be known as the welfare king and all of that, and until they take it from him. Okay. And they can. Like he literally gets on the internet and some of the things he says, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whole laws have been changed due to what he would say Black women's actions, right? They come in, they start shining a light and say, look at what these women getting. They're able to get snacks with their food stamps. And then they go in and change laws. And here this man is, who seems like he not even looking to see what's going on and how laws get passed and changed. He's bragging about certain things, right? And here we go.
Your path is of, no motivation. Your path is of nothing masculine. If you have sons?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, you got all daughters.
Yep. So now look. Now look, even though I had sons.
Hey, yo, what is going on here, man?
Hey, Cooley, even though I had sons, what's better than the government?
So
there's not a Black man out here working, competing with the government, right? What do the government essentially? Yes, they don't give you all of the money up front, but the average Black man makes between $45,000 to $55,000 a year, right? Now with the government, what they buy is, let's say I got 3 kids and you have 3 kids. You making your average income at, let's give you $55,000 a year. You still got to pay for daycare, right? So
okay.
I get my daycare for free. You got to pay for food for the 4 of y'all. I get $1,000 a month.
I get what you're saying, but Jay, back to topic, right? You said you got 4 daughters. You said you got 4 daughters. I'm asking
3.
about your kid. 3 daughters. Okay, you got 3 daughters. So then, the next question would be: would you want your daughter to date a man like you?
Absolutely.
But if they date a man like you, then they would have to be, no for good, nothing woman, because then the man that they're dating is gonna impregnate them and take the kids from them because your daughter is just, not worthy of having the kids. And that's how you're raising your daughters to be unworthy of raising children?
Yeah, well, this is how I look at it, right? I think a lot of y'all Black men just complain, just mad and jealous because y'all can't compete with the other man. The other man is the government. I think that y'all shame Black women and people that get on government assistance because y'all can't compete with them, right? As a man in America, you cannot. Why would a woman give up all of these good resources in her own power and not to be getting controlled and all this other type of stuff to get with a man that barely making ends meet and living an average life, or to throw money back in his face where you're going to be controlling them? So yes, there's nothing better than the government. If you ain't making triple of the amount of what the government going to incentivize, as far as like your health benefits, the daycare benefits, the food, the rent assistance.
Yeah. So, Jay, for someone like you, so the government, all that does is incentivize bad choices. So they come from a reactionary standpoint. When you make a bad choice, the government comes in place. They have systems in place like welfare and things like that. If you make a bad, now things is not always if you make a bad choice, because you can be born in a situation where it's not anything that's great, right? But when we're speaking about this part of the conversation, no. If you're saying that, well, no, I think that the government is a good thing and more people should rely on the government. So more people, if they're relying on the government, more people would be lazy. More people would not be meeting any goals. The world would be look, if we take your logic, right, and the way that you operate, and if we extrapolate that and put your mindset into let's say half of the population, where do you think America will be if we put your mindset into half of the population in America?
Well, I only predicate this for black people, especially black men, because black men.
Okay, so then you want black.
He only predicate. What? Is it? Wait, let me. Hey Siri, define predicate.
As a noun, predicate means the part of a sentence or clause containing a verb and stating something about the subject. E.g., went home and John went home. Do you want to hear the next one?
Yes.
As a verb, it means stating the verb or assert something about the subject of a sentence or an argument of a proposition. Do you want to hear the last?
No. Okay, I thought so. I'm trying to understand what he's trying to say, but I don't think he's using the right word. But okay. Wow. Okay, let's go back. Let's go. So he only predicate, or he only wanted this for black men for some reason. Wow. But it makes sense, right? He want other black men to fall. He want everybody to be like him, so nobody could say that they're better than him in any way. Because he wants you to just rely on the system for everything, so you could go and beg every month. You know. What the hell is going on? It's giving me a headache, to be honest. We'll look at it a little more. Wow.
People to stay in poverty.
No, that's not it. No. Let me clarify.
Okay, clarify.
You know how you go to work, right? And you work a 4-hour shift or 8-hour shift, you get a 30-minute break. We work 400 years. We need our 30-year break. So there's nobody in America that worked longer as black men, but yet we still at the bottom.
Oh, I see. So our ancestors.
This is all respirations that
I get what you're saying. Our ancestors. Okay, so since our ancestors worked without any pay for 300 or 400 years, then you're basically saying, well, since my ancestors worked, I don't have to work. I'm going to take advantage of the systems that's in place that the government give us, and that's how I'm living.
Okay, now they sat on their back while us black folks was slaving and building this land, and they did the same thing that I'm doing, right? And secondly, right,
Jay, real quick, you said that's reparations. Reparations would be to get black people out of the situation that the financial system or the position where they're at in the class of system, get them out of that position and put them in a higher class, right? If you are not being motivated and you're not being ambitious and you're not out there really going to make something of yourself, and if you're just being lazy, that isn't reparations. That's just being lazy. How are you giving to the next generation?
Well,
Listen, real quick, answer that. How, if it's reparations, this is what you're saying, man. I'm trying to stillman your argument so it, you know, to try to make some sense of it, because it's very nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. You're saying.
And so what he's doing is what I've been doing. You know, when I'll be like, okay, I see what you're saying, and then I ask another question, and then he goes around. He don't answer the question, and he just, you know, states his arguments, and it is nonsensical. Okay, and he goes with the larger number of people. He goes and state this, and like I don't know.
Saying that, well, our ancestors, they were slaves. They worked for 400 years without getting any pay. Well,
he's the reason why, if reparations was ever thought about, his argument will be like, oh, hell no. He's literally not doing no helping to nobody. You know what I mean? And it's like somebody who shouldn't have the spotlight is getting the spotlight, you know? Because he could really harm us as a whole, as a people, as a nation of people. You know? Because this is ridiculous. Say, yeah, I want to be lazy. I just want to work on this. I just want to get the money. I want to sit on my ass. Like, women don't even want to do that. But he's saying, let alone men. Let alone men.
Well, my reparations is I'm going to sit on my butt and I'm going to collect this government cheese. I'm going to collect these handouts. And you know what? That's going to be my reparations, so I don't have to work. They work for 400 years. Now I'm not going to work for 30 years. That's essentially what you're saying. I got that, right?
Yes.
Okay, now my question for you is, how is that reparations if reparations is to move black people in a better place than they were yesterday? You would be bringing black people back. You would be bringing black people worse than what the ancestors was. Yeah, the ancestors was slaves, was living in slavery, but our ancestors will look at you and say, hey, you have all of this opportunity, but you're not using this opportunity. They would spit on you and look at you and
right. Right. He's a disgrace to the ancestors. He's a disgrace to the people today and people tomorrow. But he seems so happy to say this shit. Okay.
disgrace. You'll be disgraceful.
So my respirations is
Respiration. Hey Siri, define respirations.
Respiration means the action of breathing.
Right. He said his respirations. Lord have mercy. Jesus. Jesus. He said his respiration. Wait, I'm not joking. I think that's what he said. Look, I could be wrong. Let's hear it again.
But you're not using this opportunity, they would spit on you and look at you in disgrace. You'll be disgraceful.
So my respirations is, okay, not have to work for the peanuts, right? So when you go out there and work and stuff like that, my respirations is be able to sit on my behind, get to raise my kids, and spend more time with my kids.
Spending no time, but oh, come on.
I get to watch my kids grow. I get to live in a house in a suburb community for $25 a month, while y'all paying $3.
He's not even paying no $25 a month. See, now he's over that line. That's why I said y'all see? And I want y'all to know a lot of people lie like him. A lot of these men, they're not going as far as him, as far as saying they do it. They'll say, I know somebody. And everybody they know it happens to be a black woman, right? But they not gonna mention him, and they always lie. Oh, these people are on Section 8 when that's not true. And then not all single mothers are on Section 8. There are families on Section 8, and they're not all black, right? Section 8 is a federal government um a federal government plan, right? It's not called a plan, but um well anyway, I can't think of the word right now, y'all. Listen, I'm in pain. Look, I started this stream in pain, and I taking some medicine, and it's not really working. My head is killing me, okay? But I'm trying to do the stream only because I said yesterday I was gonna do it, and I said, well, let me hurry up and do it. But I'm not feeling well. Okay. Anyway, I can't even think straight. My head hurt. Here we go.
$3,000 a month or $5,000 a month in a 3 or 4 bedroom home, right? I get to do all that. That is respirations because
that's respirations. Oh, okay, now, because I didn't know what he meant by my respiration, but he mean rep, what he was trying to say. Reparations. Lord have mercy. Yeah. And I don't know if my head is hurting worse because I'm laughing or because I'm like, what in the hell is happening? What is happening? Anyway, I want him to answer that question because about raising his daughters. He will. Because the host is good at asking questions and he will bring him back to it. Okay, so here we go.
let's face it, they're not going to give you your respiration that you are desiring. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my respirations the ghetto way. And nothing you brought up about our ancestors stuff, and why do y'all make fun of us talking about, well, our ancestors do this, but yet white people benefit of the power of their ancestors. The reason why white people today is still in power is because of their ancestors. That's in every race.
So Jay, you got it all wrong. Our ancestors, Jay, you got it all wrong. Our ancestors, what they did, they sacrificed themselves so us black people today can be free. We're not in bondage. We're not slaves. And let me finish, right? And let me finish. Yeah, I didn't say that it was, but let me finish. So our ancestors, they made the ultimate sacrifice. And you can say it wasn't by choice. I don't think that it wasn't by, I don't think it was forced. I think it was choice because they could have chose to all rebel and they could have chose to all die, right? They could have chose to die, but they chose to continue to live, to suffer the pain so their legacy that they leave behind can have the choice to be a free man. And guess what? We are all black people. We're all free in America today, right?
No, we're not.
So, okay, listen, Jay, let me just land my plane. How you're viewing things, you're viewing things in a very twisted lens, right? We are all free today, and we are in the land of opportunity. There's no better country on the face of this earth, right? So with that being said, you want to just be lazy because you're an inadequate male and you have the mind of a lazy woman, not even just a regular woman, the mind of a lazy woman, and you don't want to make anything of yourself. You're not being an example of any of your children. Think about it. You got 3 daughters. You're not an example of a man that your daughter would want. You couldn't even answer that question, right? You kind of like skipped over it. This is the type of stuff I'm asking to see if you can. No, you said yes. You said yes, and then I said that if you do say yes, then that means that your daughters are unworthy. Then you have to conclude that then your daughters would be unworthy to raise children because the women. Well, listen, the women that you chose them women specifically because you know that they don't have the ability to raise children so you can get full custody of your children. This is the type of man you are. You went ahead and you sought out women that was not really worthy of having any kids, and then you went ahead and planted a seed in those women so then you can get full custody. That's what you did.
And I got my result.
Got it. So now, if you want your daughters to date a man just like you, they would date a man just like you, which would mean that your daughter would be just like their mother, an unworthy woman. You get what I'm saying? An unworthy woman that isn't able to take care of children. Is that what you truly want for your daughters?
Well, I do want if they're gonna have, since we live in an environment where a single parent is more pushed than families. Yes, I would rather for my grandchildren to be raised from their father.
Okay, so you would truly want your daughters to then be unworthy women to raise children.
Whatever the dice land, yeah. If because I know that I see the difference between.
Hey, Chad, he's not trolling either. I'm asking him these questions. He thinking about it like, oh yeah, I want them to be.
What? I don't like to troll. I need to speak what it is, right?
Oh, man.
I see.
There it is. And there it is. Even the black man laughing at his ass. And it's not even funny, but it's funny, right? It's funny because some people think he's trolling.
Let's bring up some more people. Let's make this full panel. I had fun with you enough. But let's bring up some more people. Let's bring up Carl. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast. Carl, welcome back. You've been here before. You want to go ahead and state your name, where you're from? You on mute.
All right, my bad. What's up, y'all? I'm Carl. Thanks for bringing me up, Coos. What's up, brother? Other brother there. I'm in Florida. Yeah, what's up, bro? I'm from Georgia, but I'm in Florida. And it's kind of my location. I got a bunch of family from down here. So
got it. Let me also go ahead and bring up Sid Cap. We got Sid Cap. Sid Cap, go ahead and state your name. Welcome back. You've been here before. State your name. Where you from?
Sid Cap from Brooklyn.
All right, cool. So a lot of you, I'm sure you guys heard Jay speaking about his personal situation and what he sees, how black people should move in society. So I'm sure you guys have some takes or some questions for Jay. Let's go ahead and start with Carl.
Yeah, well, I always enjoy, the conversations that you get, Cooley, and Jay, you encouraged me to come on, because a couple of things that you said I hadn't heard said before, and I feel like
That's right. You haven't heard him said before. There's a lot of shit that's why I say people watching, because he's doing shit that we never, like, you be in awe, like, what the fuck? Like, what? Who does that? And who does that? But I do want to hear what these other brothers have to say, but I just got to give credit to No Foods, No for what is his name again, y'all? My head hurt. Fugazi. Is it Fugazi podcast? Okay, make sure if you like what you're hearing and shit like that, you want to see what more the brother offer, go over there and give him a subscribe, hit his thumb up on this video, so I don't have to have no problems with him as far as him thinking that I'm stealing his content, okay? Because the truth is I should be talking a little more than I am over it, but I ain't got time. Okay, my head hurt, and it hurts worse listening to this man speak as if he truly believes what he's saying, because he does, which in itself means there's some mental instability. Okay, and no matter who says, everybody can tell him he's wrong, he's gonna be like, this is me, I'm gonna be me. Okay. And that don't work in society, though. I don't think he knows it. And I think that's why he has, the children, so he can skip through. He's gonna be able to skip through as long as he got the children, because people, the government gonna want him to take care of the kids. He just don't know that they'll take them. They'll take them and take care of the kids themselves. Okay. The men who support him and be like, yeah, you're right. And they egg him on. They they are okay if the kids get taken. The women are like trying to tell her, hey, you need to stop doing this. Hey, don't do this. Don't speak around him like that. Don't do it. Because they're trying to really help. The men who tell him, yeah, he's doing right, are the ones who really trying to get him destroyed. So the women, when they telling him that he's doing wrong, he'll claim they calling CPS on him. When it's actually most probably those men who's targeting him by agreeing with. Oh,
Like who said, I know you're not just shooting a breeze. Like some of these things you really thought about for a long period of time, and you've seen some success in. I just wanted to offer a couple of things, slightly different based on my experience, that she said that I didn't necessarily agree with. One, I'll start with, the idea that in order
down there giving me a headache. What the hell is he doing? What in the hell is he doing over there? Oh my God. Maybe we might have to change the view and just listen. We don't need to see these niggas anyway. Hold up. That nigga making me, he making me this. He making my head hurt worse. Okay? If we need to see some more, I will go back to it where we can see, but that's getting on my goddamn nerve. I got a headache. Okay, here we go.
order for men to secure their rights to their children in unfortunate situations, the woman has to be unfit. Like I mean, for obvious reasons, I don't think Cooley really even jumped on that because we want children should have a healthy man and woman in their life. And I would say, I won't go on this whole tirade about my history of like civil rights and all the people in my family from the prior generations, but certain moves were made for blacks in this country on the backs of families. Like people don't talk about it, but for women to be respected, they had to be married at a certain time.
I'm sorry. I know y'all can't see it right now. And look, y'all go over and look at this. Let me see how long he gonna be up there. He's not gonna be up there too much longer. Let me see. We had 55, and it looked like he's gone at about 1:30. So it looked like maybe another half hour he gonna be up there. But anyway, like look like they're gonna have another race of man come up there. Let me see what that gonna be about. Oh, God. But they cracking on him about that word respiration. What he said, they getting on him about breathing. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I'm gonna show this. Okay, we're gonna show it. That dude at the bottom, I think he gone. Cause he was giving my head already hurt. I ain't got time to be going through these jiggling of the camera and shit. That shit driving me crazy. Okay, let's get back into it. I don't know what he had to say, but he about to leave, so or something. Oh, damn. Oh, come on. I gotta make it smaller so I can do it. Just I gotta. Yeah, I just want to press play. There you go.
Until it's a problem.
Excuse me? 30 years. Nah, there ain't no gonna be no problem.
Until it's a problem, you're gonna be coming out of everything that you don't work hard for. And you're gonna do more sacrificing than she is. She ain't gonna sacrifice nothing
You
for
don't
you.
know how to pair bond with anybody but yourself. So
And see, so if a man gets up there and says, "Hey, I got a lovely wife, lovely family, we're working hard together," and even if it falls apart, they still say, "Hey, we co-parent or whatever." He starts telling the man that they stupid. The men who really doing shit in the world. Okay, but anyway, I think he gone.
Calm down there, man. I know how to pair bond with another human being, bro. I know how to pair bond with another human being. You
make
don't.
money.
You're just trying to get over. Just like anybody trying to get over on somebody on high status
They've been getting
or low
over
status.
forever. Let me get over
All
it.
right.
The
One
white
mic
man
at a
got
time,
over it.
fellas. One mic at a time. AJ, let Sig finish his thought. Go ahead, Sig.
So he just getting over. That's basically it. And he feels like America owe him something. All right, fine. That's your story. But in my way, the way I see it is, I really came on here to talk about technology and relationship. This is small change, Joe. I want to talk about because I seen you had a conversation with this Russian guy a couple weeks ago. He's talking about technology is a part of why relationships are not here. So I'll sit back and then you can have this conversation. But we're
Okay,
on two
I'll bring
different
you up
levels.
again.
I can't get with that.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. I'll bring you up again, Sig Cap. No worries. Stay backstage. All right, let's
So
bring
Cooley.
up Wit Kid Dreams. What's going on, Wit Kid? State your name, where you from for the chat. Yeah,
No,
everything
you're
good.
good. So I just had a few questions over here, just listening to this whole conversation. My first question is why do you have Cooley as a backdrop for you? That's first and foremost.
I like Cooley. We did the last. This was.
I understand you like Cooley. You have him as your background. I get that, but that's crazy. Okay, that's totally off topic. But I just really had to know why you had Cooley as a background because that's a little.
I'm practicing.
That's kind of questionable. But hearing this conversation, not too questionable anymore. So you said that you
He said that's kind of questionable that I didn't even notice he put him back there, but you see, he trying to get some, trying to get some clout. Okay, man, he done put the cooler in the back of it.
are honestly proud of being a drain on society, essentially.
Absolutely.
So pretty much you're saying that you have no worth to society but to be a drain on it. Your daughters, you hope to become women like that you meet. I mean, this is the most disrespectful thing you could ever say to your child. By the way you talk, I wouldn't be surprised if your daughter ends up on a stripper pole.
That's where he wanted to be. That as soon as he get old enough, he'll be okay with it. Yes. That. Oh, and you ain't never hear him speak to his daughter. So yeah, the way he speak to him. Lord have mercy. Here we go.
I really wouldn't.
Well, we see women on the stripper pole anyway, right? That's one.
And that's not acceptable. And that's completely unacceptable.
Secondly, everybody got over on black men, right? The white.
He basically said, yeah, there's women on stripper poles. So when this man said your daughter may end up on a stripper pole, you see he didn't have her back, not even a tiny bit. He didn't get angry. And then he's saying, now he's talking it back to getting over on black men. So I guess his daughter getting over on black men. Wow. What the fuck? This. And if somebody called CPS, it probably was based on this video. I never saw this video. This is my first time seeing it. Y'all mentioned it yesterday. I did see people mentioning he went over there, but I didn't look at it. And now I see why people over there would say that they are calling. It makes sense. So if somebody called and reported him, it is due to the shit he's saying here. Because any father would be like, you don't know what my daughter gonna be. Nope. But then again, I mean, he did throw him out there and say he don't care if he gonna raise them a certain way.
Woman, the white man, and the black woman.
But this doesn't address my comment. Well, how is being a drain on society beneficial to showing your daughters how a man should actually treat them, how men should be how are you not? You said you don't have a job, you collect welfare, you find women who won't provide and be a mother. I mean, you said you sit back and collect money from taxes. You don't. What I mean,
you see my tax check, and I get child support from all my baby mamas. So what? So I'm not draining because I'm doing.
But you are
God's
when
work.
you collect child support and when you collect your EBT card, that comes from tax. You just said, "Oh, the taxpayers are paying for this." Correct? That's what you said. So therefore, you are a drain on society. You're worthless to the whole entire nation because you don't produce anything. You're producing children who are probably going to end up on a stripper pole because you're not being a good father. You're not showing them what a man should be like. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's false because I'm doing what God called me to do. So hold on, let me respond to you. What you're talking about is man-made, right? Man-made told us the Eurocentric standard told us to go work in his field and build his empire. I'm doing God told me. Wait, let me finish. Hold on, let me land with this. I'm producing children. Children is wealth. And guess what? How many kids I make? Guess who's gonna pay for them?
Yes, children are wealth when you produce good children. You're not producing good children. You're producing kids who are going to think that it's okay to be on welfare.
Working your butt off, and have to take care of me. Don't come to me.
All right, Jay. Let WitKid respond. Go ahead,
Dude,
WitKid.
you are literally the reason why black people have a bad name. You're making them look bad when they aren't. Do you realize?
Wow. Look, this is my first time seeing this. I didn't skim through it or nothing. Promise you. I don't even know which Fugazi said before Jay came on because I looked at it like this and I went until I saw him get up there like this. If y'all can't see what I'm doing, right? I could scan. So I didn't even hear what his topic was before JayPrince got up there. Didn't hear what he had to say. This is my first time seeing it, and everything I had said earlier is now being said by these different men individually. Okay. And it makes everybody look bad. Everybody. Black people, white people, like Americans. He make Americans look bad. But he definitely make black men look bad. Black people look bad. And God damn, I don't even know. Like, if my dad was the type, and by the way, there have been lots of real bad dads with their daughters and their sons. Okay, at least them motherfuckers had the nerve to keep it secret, and that's now I understand what the ladies was saying a couple of months ago. I think it was last week. Okay. When they were saying, Mom, at least when they show it to us, we'll know. They're showing us. And I'm thinking, I guess my instinct is at least people was hiding shit, but then they were saying, well, Bob, we should know. But I'm like, if we know and we can't stop it, how does that help? How does that help? But I was thinking that they shouldn't do it at all. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking that they need to keep it secret. I'm saying don't do it at all. And the ones who are openly showing us some things, it's worse behind the closed door. If what we see, what they're willing to show us in the open is bad, can you imagine what it is behind the scene? And my dad called me ugly in front of people. Just imagine what he's saying when nobody else is listening. Oh my God. Anyway, here we go.
We black people in America, we always have had a bad name. So at this point,
that was so long ago. Not anymore. Like the times have changed. You do realize that, right? Like black people have value.
Hey,
you know
Jay,
that, right?
One mic at a time, real quick. WitKid. Jay, when he's speaking, just let him stop and then speak because we can't hear when you're yelling in the background.
You realize black people have value, right? Everybody has value. Black people have value. White people have value. You should bring what your value is. You should bring to society to bring it better. You shouldn't be able to create a welfare state to where you're relying on other people to support you. That is
well,
pathetic.
Creative.
well,
If
to
I could,
respond to you
let
real
me
quick,
jump in there,
real quick
guys.
to respond to you, we
No, go ahead,
black
Carl.
people in America, y'all still lock y'all doors when we walk past. Y'all still mistreat us in the workplaces, right?
Ooh, I see how you're saying y'all. I don't. I don't. I mean, if I was, would I be on this podcast?
He said one mic, Wiki.
Yeah. Hey,
So
go ahead, Jay.
Sorry.
So we still get they removed the DEI where majority of black people benefit from. The education system is still of a Eurocentric. Nothing of it is Afrocentric. We still worship a white Jesus. Y'all still lock y'all doors when we walk past. So at this point, I don't give a damn on how I look because we always have looked at bad to y'all. So getting mad at me because I'm on.
And it's against education. And it says the weirdest things. Okay, I'm done. Listen, I'm gonna put the link in. This stream, I can't even listen no more. Like on some real shit, I have a headache already. Um, here go the information, y'all. I'm gonna make it bigger. It looks like it was done 6 days ago. I know y'all can't click on the link because it's on the screen on the video, but y'all go check them out if you want to finish listening to it. It was done. It was streamed live September 21st, 2025. Okay. And looks like Jay Prince left. Let's see how he left. Let's see how it went when he left. Let's go right here. Let's see here. Still here. Let's see what happened.
But most men do not want their woman outside because guess what? The reason why you don't want your woman outside because now that pussy gonna be available to other men. They got work husbands. They got all these other type of stuff. So the reason why they came up with the concept of basically paying for their woman to stay home, so another man won't have access to your woman. Majority of the cheating modalities come from her working. And we there at the point where we need DNA tests.
Jay, that's an insecure way of looking at why we don't want women in the workforce. One of the reasons why over here on this side of the internet we say, well, working should be optional for women. It should.
You heard what he said? I don't want my woman working than y'all do. So remember when his wife said that she got a job, like she went to get a job and got hired because he wasn't doing his part. And he wouldn't let her go. On her first day, she was supposed to get, and he wouldn't let her go. She said, I think she said, they had an argument the night before or something, but he kept her up all night before and she got to go. He had arguments and they arguing. Now, as a wife, it's not easy to go against your husband, especially if you love him and respect him, right? And you realize it's going to be a problem. It could be like women, if you really love this man and you really, you want to hear what he said, you want to follow his lead. But if you realize he's leading you off a cliff, then it's sad, but we got to stand up and do what we need to do. She was willing to do what she needed to do for him and the family. By the way, she didn't have no children. So that means it's really his family, but she married him so that it's her family. And she was willing to do that. And he wouldn't even let her do that. And then now he have her dragging along to these places to get money from churches and shit. He felt more better doing that than to go and work. And when she was saying, Jay, this is embarrassing. People who were born with pride, a sense of pride and, had no problem working for what they get and shit like that, it would be embarrassing. And listen, if I need to go get help, then I'll go get help. But I'm not going to broadcast it and I'm not going to and it's not going to be a proud moment for me. I'm not going to be sitting there smiling and all giddy. Right? But he goes in giddy, ready to conversate it up, ready to throw black women on the bus like we've all heard him because he goes there with his camera. because everything is content for him. And wow, I can't imagine being with a man who every month I had to go get, unless my husband got sick, couldn't work. But then I'll come up with some ways to help him make money, right? And if I couldn't, then I guess, I would go. But I promise you, my head would be low. I would be embarrassed. I wouldn't be like, yeah, thank you. And then when they offer help, I would be very grateful. And I would try my best not to be there the next month, the next following month, the month after that. But he's just waiting for him to be able to go and get some more help. And these people gonna start putting rules in his area based on his actions. And then there are gonna be other people where it's gonna be harder for them to get help due to one person's actions. And somebody said narcissistic, and that's what that means when he only care about himself, and only himself. Okay. Anyway, let me see if he gonna.
We shouldn't be pushing women in the workforce with all of these same opportunities. If they're going to be in the workforce, have them get into nursing, get into secretary, go into the fields that they normally get into, right now anyway. But we shouldn't prioritize. This shouldn't be a priority for women. What they should prioritize is family and children. And one of the reasons why we say that we wouldn't, like, I'm a male, as a male, if I'm raising a family with a woman, well, I don't want my children going to daycare, so I would rather I'm making a good enough income where she doesn't have to work while she's taking care of the children, and the children doesn't have to be raised by a stranger. So that's one of the that's more nuance into it of why we say we don't want the woman working.
So Coolio, let me ask you something about that.
But okay, so each person gonna have their feelings about want their woman working, right? Some men, they go getters and they like being with a woman who's go getter because it makes a better family as far as their living situations. They got some men who don't really like that. You know what I mean? Like my husband was raised, I guess, where the woman really didn't have to work. He didn't want me to work, but I wanted to work. I was a young woman, so I worked. But he preferred me not to work. Sometimes we would have arguments. He didn't want me to get the job, and then I get the job. But the last job that I had, where it was in our neighborhood, by the way, hubby would come and pick me up. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, listen, this bullshit about these men telling you probably was cheating, you probably was this, you probably was that. Everybody knew who my husband was because he let himself be known. Okay? He let himself be known. He would come to the job and sit there and wait for me. Sometimes he would come in, but he definitely was there to pick me up. And it was in our own neighborhood. All I had to do, I could have walked. I walked there to work. And the only reason he didn't take me is because I didn't go to work until like 1 o'clock. I didn't go to work until 1 o'clock. I refused to work a 9 to 5. I'm not a morning person. And I think I went to work. Was it 1 day or 11? I can't remember. But yeah, like I used to volunteer at this job. That's how I got the job. I volunteered, and I was willing to only volunteer. She offered me the job, and I was like, nah, I'm good, just volunteering. I'll continue doing what I'm doing. Anything you need me to do, I'll do. Volunteer. And the reason she wanted me to work is so she could get me, because now I will be under her control. I think I told y'all that, right? So me volunteering, though, I ain't under nobody's control. I come when I come and I leave when I leave. So she offered me a good amount of money. And then she told me I could come in whenever I wanted. What time do I want to come in? I was like, well, shit, I'm not a morning person. So I can't be here. Okay. And I think we negotiated, and I think I got there Yeah, I don't think I didn't get that till 1 o'clock. I walked there, I was there. That way I'm gonna be there on time. And then I got off when I got done with, the homework club and all that thing, and hubby would be right there. And then so people knew me in the neighborhood. Then they seen him pick me up. He was there day, every day. Okay. I don't like being controlled neither. But I did have those options only because I was married to a man who didn't really want me to work. Now, that don't mean me working didn't help the family. Of course it did. Okay? Of course it helped. JayPrince is on some bullshit. And so if a man could take care of the family without any assistance, that's a great thing. But just imagine if he got a woman who can offer some assistance. That's even better. That's even better, right? It's even better for her because then she can do a job that she loves instead of taking any job that just offer her a job. So yes, there's some benefits to being a woman with a certain particular type of men. And those men aren't crying and boo hoo, look what these women get. She did this and that and third. No, right? The ones who complaining and is the ones who can't get a woman. And he definitely and then most of these when they do get a woman, they're gonna need her to work to help him. He can't afford to date, let alone afford a woman who he gonna take on who ain't got a job. Goodness. That's why a lot of these men are single. A lot of these men are single because they know they can't afford to not be single. Because if they listen to these other crazy men, they think they got to take a woman and take care of her and he got to do everything. But the truth is, if he find a woman who don't have no problem working, helping the family, helping them be a better family together, these men are ruining these younger men in their situations. Because if you today you lucky you got women who willing to work, who have no problem having a career. And then there are women who don't want to work, and that's okay. She got a man who is okay with taking care of everything. That's a good thing too. Like I had the option. But truly we need help. Okay?
The energy, what do women bring? Because I truly believe that we slotting women in the wrong position. I truly believe that women bring energies, and she's supposed to bring. The only thing her role is to a man is to bring these energies. She's supposed to nurture. She's supposed to nurture. She's supposed to be feminine. She's supposed to be submissive. She's supposed to bring peace. She's supposed to be like us.
Chat told me to kick him, man. We got to kick him. They've been telling me to kick him. We got to kick him, man. You got to go.
I never thought I would see some feminists that you debated with be more reasonable than this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I
Holy
had him up
crap.
before. I can't remember the conversation when I had him up. I think he was. I can't even remember. It was a while ago. But
that was crazy. He just literally said he doesn't care if his daughter's a stripper. Essentially, like that just blows my mind.
He actually. Well, he took it. He willed it back. He said that.
Oh, he wheeled it back.
Yeah, he said that. He would care because he would feel shame if they ended up on a stripper pole. He would feel shame, but he doesn't want to make any change. He wants to just stay in his.
Willed it back, but maybe I'll skip through. So I'll skip through a lot. He may have willed it back later, but originally he said he don't care. He said they got lots of women on the pool, but he must have willed it back in there later. Y'all go check it out. Okay, like I said, I played a lot of this man's video. I don't usually do that without doing a lot of talking in between. Okay. So y'all check him out, and that's it of that. Okay, we're gonna look and see what the hell y'all saying. Because I'm supposed to be sewing. Hubby brought me a whole plate. I ate it all, which is abnormal because it usually takes me a long time to eat a plate of food. It was good, and now my my stomach feels full. I don't like that feeling. Wow. Look, y'all, it was fish with shrimp on top with pontchartrain sauce, right? If he would have added a few things that I like, if I known he was making it, but he made it, I would have made it into voodoo sauce, right? A couple of other things would have been in there. Would have been some crawfish, the shrimp, and on top of the fish, and it would have been on a bed of rice. And oh my God, but this was good. That's why it's pontchartrain sauce. If y'all don't know about it, go check it out. Um, I'm quite sure there's a recipe out there for it. So some goddamn way. Hubby made it, and I do have a recipe for it. Okay, my husband know how to read, baby. Okay, okay, and he know how to cook. Yes. Okay. Anyway, look, I'm supposed to look and see what y'all talking about before I go about my goddamn bit. Okay. Nobody say JP is a poster boy for. Hey, Letitia. Yo, what's good? Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? Okay. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't even get a notification on my own video. So I'll leave this up and I'm going about my business. Okay. And the only reason I did the stream is because of yesterday. Yes, hubby fed me. He fed me good. I might have to do something good for him. Okay. I might have to do good for him. Hey, Big Joker, ATL, how you doing? You doing good? That's good. Never seen you before, but welcome, baby. Welcome. Anyway, I had a good time. Listen, I don't know what's going on. And I did see, and y'all could go over there, they were saying, can you do me? I know you. I may know you. Uh, Big Joker ATL. Oh, Batman, that's you? Oh, how you been? How you been? You in the ATL now? Okay, okay. Anyway, how you been? You've been good. That's good. I think yeah. Yeah. Damn, you've been in the 25 years? Jesus. You was somewhere else before that. Where were you? But anyway, how the family? Everybody good? That's what I'm saying. I've been knowing, I've been on the internet a very long time, y'all. And I've been on many, many programs from the beginning. And I know a lot of people. But then there's and I'm not, over here they think for some reason, oh, in 2000s when you left Chicago, okay. For some reason, these men, they for some reason think that I'm against black men, which is ridiculous. But that they only say that because they say that about all black women. Like we all against them. That is so ridiculous. Okay. And when I try to tell them that I've been knowing right, when I've been on here for a while, been knowing people for a very long time. You see, Black Batman said 2001. Okay. Um, um, it was possible. I can't remember if it was Yahoo or Pale Talk, right? But it was it was one of those. Okay. There you go. Pale Talk. See? I could see. And so I try to when I try to tell them, I'm like, yeah, I've been on here a very long time. Some of them don't be believing me. I'm like, I've been on the internet since '89. And when I tell them that, they can't even fathom that because some of them wasn't even born until the '90s, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I was on AOL, Black Planet, you know, uh, Pale Talk. We was on there for a very long time, having a great time on Pale Talk. And I talk about Pale Talk a lot, right? Because we used to be over there doing drama, cracking on each other, and we had lots of conversations about many, 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 many things. And Then it was like a family because we were there every day, like clockwork. I ain't gonna lie, like all night, right? And yeah, and we had a lot of good times. We should be naturals at the YouTube stuff. We could. I know that's right. That's why they can't beat me. Big Joker. They never can beat me, baby, because I definitely learned how to roast and do everything from Pale Talk, handle myself on Pale Talk, you know. And then they try to come at me with with my name and me being a cam girl and all that shit. And when I tell them I was like the original, they the men call me a sex something, and then they claim that I'm a hoe and but. I'm like, I don't, nobody ever met me in that capacity. So anyway, it's crazy, babe. I I didn't bring it over here, but my name never changed. So, when people want to dox you, because they started doxing over here, we never did that over there. Over there, we didn't care what nobody real life was like. But over here, you come over here, people want to dox you. And so, uh, anyway, y'all, I'm going. I had a great time. I'm not sure what happened because it's usually more people in here. Um, but I just causing destruction. And you notice, you know what I noticed? The title, right? If I would have put Black Manosphere, da 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 da, then YouTube is willing to put that out. And y'all would get notifications. In 2014, they started doxing. Oh, okay. That's when I left too. I came over here in 2014. That's when I came on YouTube. A following behind who that was who gave me that's when Tommy Sotomayor had popped up and they were sharing his stuff and I ended up coming over here and find when I was like, what kind of where is he at and what is this and how can I do videos like that too? And then when I started doing that kind of research, that's when I came over. So it was 2014. Oh, so they started doxing in 2014, huh? You heard me yeah, I would be over there by the time, having fun. I forgot who, um, damn, he's on here. Um, and he was in our chat room on Pale Talk. Um, damn, I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, it's nice seeing you. And I'm hope to see you again. Do you have a channel on here or something? We all getting older, baby. I don't see where you have a channel. But listen, make sure you come back. We have some well, I'm not sure if you're married or not, but we have some beautiful people over here. Don't matter if you're married or not. Women, some nice looking men, some good people. Um, yeah, I met Robert. Yeah, I met Robert on Yahoo. But I know him, because he's from my area, and we talk when I see him. So as soon as I saw his name, at first when I said Robert, and then I said, oh, you know who that is. Oh, you just do music videos? Okay. Oh, you met with Tommy? I know he crazy, huh? I know. He said I'm good on the women. He's him ever too crazy. Yeah, I've been knowing Robert. We met on Yahoo Messenger, and well, it wouldn't have been Yahoo Messenger. It would have been yeah, I guess it would. I don't know if Messenger was out for everybody just to see who's on Messenger back then, like it is on Facebook and stuff like that. So he probably was in my group or club back then. He ain't smart enough to have it. You saw how that was, legal code. He looked at, um, I don't know. He looked like he proud though, and that I don't know. I I guess I'm trying to understand if would I be proud of something, not knowing something? I wouldn't be proud of it now. I would be, I, if I don't know something, like, yes, I'll be playing around a lot. Like yesterday when I was pushing the women, because I know they can handle it. When I was talking about music, I was pushing them, and they already know me by now, so they already knew. Okay, just I couldn't do nothing but laugh. They know me by now. But I don't like if I didn't know something, I'm okay with not knowing it, right? And if you teach me something, then I learned something that day. Um, but JP and a lot of these men on here, and well, I don't know about the women. I don't really pay too much attention to the women like that because I'm not fighting them. But I noticed last night, right? I was on the stream and somebody said something and I disagreed. And these men they will fight to the end, only to find out that what you told them was the truth. But they'll call you a liar because then they'll switch up the words on you. And it is ridiculous. It's almost like nothing wrong with you didn't know. And now I shared with you. So you know what was claimed last night? Which, by the way, if you looked at any of the movies, you would know it's not true. They said that I don't even know why he brought this up because we was talking about today. He went all the way back to slavery, and then he went all the way back to slavery to try to make his point. But originally, he said in the 40s that women, black women in particular, was homemakers, and I was like, no. Somebody else said it first because she was on the panel, and she said, no, that's not true. Black women work. And then he mentioned two black women, right? Malcolm X's wife and Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife. Now it's weird that when he want to give his example, he goes to those two women, right? Famous women, highly known and respected women, right? He went to those two women for the whole nation. But even when he used those two women as an example, he was wrong. Betty Shabazz worked. When Malcolm X met her, she was working a job. Okay. Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife, Claretta King, worked. He kept saying they didn't work, they was homemakers. I'm like, no, they weren't. They were housewives. Yes, they took care of the children when they were there to take care of their children, but they worked. And he kept saying it wasn't true. So his own examples, and I was like, it's not true. And then that's when he went all the way to slavery. He went all the way back to slavery to say women didn't work. And then I go to say, well, because women didn't work. Like first we was enslaved. Then he started talking about, well, there was freemen. There was people who were free. I'm like, yeah, but if there was women, they didn't work. Not, not, and he kept saying traditional jobs. It was crazy. It was so crazy. It was almost like they can't just say, oh, I misstated, or they ain't got to even admit they were wrong. They could just have learned something and keep it pushing. But no, they want to push. They kept pushing it back to slavery. And then he said that when we were separated, we had everything we needed ourselves. And I was like, that's not true. If we would have had everything we needed, then we wouldn't have been trying to get things, right? That's what the argument was about. The argument was about that we're separate and supposed to be equal, but we wasn't equal, right? So we wasn't separate and equal. If we had been separate and equal, we would have been good. We would have been equally having our own stuff, doing our own thing, but it wasn't true. He said JP could barely speak English. He said, Big Joker said, yes, women work, but it was supplemental income. Well, isn't that what we do today? If she lived with a man, her income is supplemental to his. And you're right, men made more money than women back then. So yeah, it was supplemental income. But my grandmother had both of them. One on my mom on mom's side of the family, she had 10 children, and she worked. My grandfather worked the railroad. He worked for the railroad until he got diabetes and then went blind. When he went blind, my grandmother continued to work. Okay? On on my dad's side of the family, my grandmother had 15 kids. She had 15 kids, and she worked the whole time. Okay? She worked the whole time. When there was a man there, I don't know if he worked because I only remember my pop Benny, who isn't my dad's dad, but he was my uncle and aunt's, the youngest dad. Okay. All the rest of them had different dads. And that's another thing. They be claiming that back then women had one husband and all the children was for that man. And that's not true neither. And yeah, I like one of my grandmothers was married 3 times. The other one, I don't know how many times she was married, but I know she had 15 kids by almost as many men. Okay. Um, yeah. We like to romanticize a time in which we didn't live in, and but it's not true. It just isn't true. Like, you know, so I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I'm going. I'm rambling and I want to start sewing. I have something to sew up. Holidays coming up. If y'all want something, customized item for Christmas, y'all let me know. Okay. Anything from bags to shirts to pants to suits to anything. Okay. Just not shoes yet. I'm not don't try to get me with no shoes. I'm still working on that. Okay. um Nobody said he didn't get that far. The 8th grade was his senior year. Bye, Big Joker. Hope to see you again. Let me give you a wrench to the channel. Hold up. Uh-oh. Well, I can't give you a wrench. I must be under a different name. Wait, let me see what name I'm under. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm under Bomb Cherry Live. Is that what channel we on? Yeah, what channel I'm on? Oh, I'm on Bomb Cherry Live. That's why I couldn't pin the link. I'm on the Bomb Cherry Live, but oh damn. I didn't even know. I'm on the wrong channel. Yeah, I have a channel called Bomb Cherry Juice, y'all. Okay. I just realized I put this on the wrong channel. No, I have several channels. I was wondering why it's only like 7 people over here. If we would have been on the other channel, it would have been like 100 people over there. So I thought something was wrong. But I have another channel called Bomb Cherry Juice. And when I started to try to pin the link, I couldn't. I was like, what's going on? I never looked to see I'm on the wrong channel. And everybody was waiting for me to do this stream. That's the only reason I did. And then I noticed people wasn't here. I'm like, what's going on? I'm on the Bomb Cherry Live channel instead of the Bomb Cherry Juice channel. Okay. So I can't give you a wrench because I'm on the wrong channel. But come make sure next time I see you, I'll see you on the Bomb Cherry Juice channel. I just got this channel back like earlier this year. Okay. I am silly baby. Listen, I just got this channel back. I had this channel taken from me like 5 years ago. So they say I was bullying. Okay, they said I was being a bully. I got it back like late last year. I just requested it back. They gave it back to me. I had no strikes on the channel, but they took it from me. Um, and now I was trying to wonder why I didn't have many people here. I got a whole, listen, we got a whole bomb squad. The bomb squad itself would have put me at like 50 people, and let alone the other people would have came over to see what I was talking about, who've been waiting for me to do this. And so I'm under the wrong channel. I didn't realize that. I'm not redoing it neither. Okay, I'm gonna tell them I did it on this channel. I'm not talking about they giving me a headache. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a wrench. I gotta change my name to do that. Hold up. I gotta go to YouTube and go to. I don't have any in-type channels. All my channels are known. I use the same name on everything, but let me switch accounts. And I gotta go to Cherry Bomb. Nobody even told me. They never said, Bomb, you on the wrong channel. Yeah, I didn't even know. I was clicking too fast. I guess that's what happened. Yeah. Okay, here I go. Am I on the right channel? Yes. Okay, let me find y'all. So I can give y'all wrenches over here. Even though I'm not hardly ever here, but I am going to start. What do I do? That's not gonna work. Okay, I gotta just go to channel. I don't know. YouTube Studio, no. Oh, Future Channel. Okay, that's great. Let me give y'all wrenches real quick. They telling me. Okay, let me give you a wrench and. That's why I couldn't pin it earlier. And what is legal code? How you doing? Legal, I don't really have anybody. I don't think I have any wrenches over here. Nobody has wrenches because I've never been over here when they used to have wrenches. Nobody have a wrench. I think Letitia don't have a wrench. I'm gonna give her one. I'm gonna give her my. She can moderate. And what is uh? Hey, he changed his name. Okay, no, he got a wait. I got one big joke. A big joke. Okay, everybody should have a wrench, right? I hope. Anyway, it's not gonna do you too much because I don't really come under this channel like that. But if you come to the other channel, okay, the other channel, when I see you, if you have time and you come over, I will give you wrenches, okay? Big Joker and Southern Gentleman. I got you, baby. I'm glad you changed your name, Southern Gentleman, because when I was under my other name, your name was something different. Okay. Anyway, but I knew who you was. Lena, there you go. Here we go, Lena. Here you go. Here go your rich girl. Okay, who else I'm missing? Who else? Legal code. I don't know if he's still here. Is legal is legal code a woman? I think that's a woman. Yeah, I don't know why I just say he. Um, honestly, I don't know, but I think that is one. Cause she be on it, baby, or he. Okay, they whoever they are, they smart. Okay, Lena, I think you good. I don't not do all that. Big Joker, you going way above my head. I ain't got time to be learning either. Okay. But that would be a good idea, but I ain't got time. I'm not monetized, so I don't give a damn. Be honest with you, I ain't never tried to get monetized. And I don't give a damn. Okay. So that's okay. You got it. No, I thought I saw you earlier, but I didn't know I was on the wrong channel, sis. I didn't even know. I did not even know until like earlier. Remember, if it was here from the beginning, you heard me say, "Why can't I pin the link?" The reason I couldn't pin the link because I was under the Bomb Cherry Juice name, but I didn't know I was on the Bomb Cherry Live account. You see what I'm saying? So I couldn't pin, I couldn't do, and then I didn't notice until I tried to give Rich. And I was like, why can't I give him a Rich? Couldn't give him a Rich because anyway. Lena, you know I love you, girl. You know, we there. We here, girl. We've been here forever. Now I'm gone. People gonna be mad at me because they've been waiting for me to do the stream. Okay, it's my fault. But like I said, I ain't monetized. I don't give a damn. Okay, so I'm gonna see y'all later, and I hope y'all have a good week. I have a busy week. I have a couple of doctor's appointments. I have one tomorrow, and the most important one is on the 30th. Ah, man. And I've been getting notices all weekend about appointments. I'm like, damn. Oh, and then I have one after the 30th, which I'm not sure if that's the 1st or the 31st. I had two on the 30th. I had to cancel one. So I don't know when that one is. Oh, Lord, this is all over the place. I'm gone, y'all. I'm gone. Because these people want to check my prostate. And I'm like, that lady said, well, I said, okay, do I have to come in? And she was like, yeah, they're going to put you to sleep. And it's like, oh, no. I said, can't you just send me something and I just poop on a card or something? I'm like, I ain't even thinking about you going and doing no. Listen, no, okay? Only after if you see something through the poop card or whatever. And I didn't want to do the poop card. I was like, can I come into the doctor to do the poop card? I'm like, I'm not playing with no poop. I don't make no, I don't know. But when she talk about they're going to put me to sleep, I say, no, I'll do the poop card, okay? I'm going to do the poop card. Give me my options and I'll choose, okay? And I choose the poop card, okay? I was against it at first, but I'm doing no mild sedation when I could just do a poop card, okay? I was against the poop card, but now I'm all for the poop card. That's all I got to say about it. If they give you the option, do the poop card first, okay? Now, if they see something and they got to go in, okay, cool. Okay, that's how I feel. Look, I was firmly against the poop card. They just sent it to my house several times, and I just can't get myself in there to poop on no card. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? So I was like, okay, what are my other options? And she was like, we could sedate you. Oh, no. Resend the poop card. Resend the poop card. Okay? Now I'm all for the poop card. He said poop in the box. Yes, I'm all for the poop card these days. Okay? Pro poop card right here. Okay? So I'm going to go, y'all. Have